Decision 2017 team coverage, live reports from across the Commonwealth as some of this election's biggest races come to an end, where the candidates stand ahead of tonight's election results.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm John Carlin.
And I'm Lindsay Ward. Tonight, the Commonwealth and much of the nation are watching as Virginia elects a new governor. With polls closing at 7, voters have a little over an hour to choose their next governor. The
latest numbers show a very close race as Republican Ed Gillespie faces off against the Democrat Ralph Northam. Our team coverage of tonight's election begins with 10 News reporter Rob Manch. He's at the Gillespie campaign headquarters outside of Richmond.
So Rob, you spoke with the campaign manager earlier. What does he have to say are the keys to victory?
Well, at this point, the key to victory in the last hour and a half of the polls being open is just to get as many people as possible out to vote. And in order to do that, Gillespie's been flying all around the state, encouraging voters and starting in his own home precinct in Northern Virginia. And that's where Gillespie earlier this morning cast his own ballot in Alexandria before taking that tour around the state to encourage all other eligible voters to do the same. Campaign manager Pete Snyder says voters hoping for a Gillespie win have jobs and the economy on the mind.
Everybody wants to try to get an Amazon, and trust me, Governor Gillespie will be going after them hard, but why don't we grow our own Amazons? You know, right in the New River Valley, in Southwest Virginia, and of course in Hampton Roads.
Snyder says the campaign is hoping Gillespie's proposal to cut income taxes by 10% will be appealing to companies like Amazon that are considering Virginia as a place to do business. And coming up in just the next half hour, we'll talk about what other issues voters are considering beside just the economy and jobs. In Henrico County, Rob Manch, 10 News, working for you.
Our team coverage of the nationally watched gubernatorial election continues now with 10 News reporter Jessica Jewell in Fairfax. She is live from Democratic candidate Ralph Northam's watch party at George Mason University. So, Jessica, what's your take on what you've seen so far out there?
John, the Northam campaign workers are setting up for what they hope will be a victory party tonight, but they were a lot more confident about that a couple months ago than they have been in the past couple weeks as the polls have tightened. In fact, most of them right now show Northam either tied with Gillespie or with only a slight lead. Now, both campaigns have been aggressively pushing for that final push for your votes. Northam cast his own ballot in Norfolk this morning before campaigning there and in Richmond, but he has spent some time in Southwest Virginia recently too. While in Roanoke yesterday, we asked him about his thoughts on gun control in the wake of the Texas church shooting.
As you know, I believe in the Second Amendment, but we can't just keep having these tragedies. And so we've got to sit down and talk about things like universal background checks. Most Virginians agree on that. I'm willing to lead that discussion and do everything that I can to make sure that our communities are safe.
As one of only 2 states electing a governor this year, this race is expected to be a good indicator of how voters are reacting to Donald Trump's presidency. And people here tonight are hoping that will swing in their favor. Now, arguably, the most controversial topic in the Commonwealth right now is what to do with Confederate monuments. We asked Ralph Northam about that. We'll tell you what he has to say about their future coming up at 6. Live in Fairfax, Jessica Jewell, 10 News, working for you.
One of the 3 statewide positions up for election this year is Lieutenant Governor. Democrat Justin Fairfax faces off against Republican Jill Vogel. And 10 News political analyst Dr. Ed Lynch thinks this is the Republicans' best chance for victory.
Fairfax is not well known, not nearly as well known as the other candidates. Jill Vogel, on the other hand, has a solid record in the state Senate, is well known, well liked, a very, very good candidate, ran a very, very tough race. I think this is probably the area, the race where the Republicans have the best chance tonight.
Dr. Lynch says the 12th district race for the House of Delegates seat could be close. Hear more about his analysis on this race tonight on 10 News at 6.
On today's ballot, Virginians are also voting for Attorney General. Republican John Adams is challenging Democratic incumbent Mark Herring. During Herring's 4 years in office, he's worked to tackle the opioid epidemic and help sexual assault victims. This is Adams' first time running. He's a former naval officer and U.S. Supreme Court clerk.
And polls have been open since 6 this morning, where several locations across Southwest Virginia have seen a steady stream of voters.
10 News reporter Allison Wickline joins us now. She's live at a polling location in Roanoke County that saw a much longer wait time during the presidential election, which I guess is typical. Allison, how was the turnout then?
Well, we're here at Bonsack Baptist Church, where last year voter wait times reached about 2 hours. Now this year things have run much more smoothly here. So far, voter turnout does really seem to be steady across the county. Roanoke County election officials say they have seen an increase in the number of voters since 2013. Now, as of 3 p.m. this afternoon, more than 23,000 people had cast their ballot here in Roanoke County.
Because this is a democracy and people need to express their beliefs, and this is a very important part of our government.
Again, you still have until 7 to get out and cast your ballot. Live in Roanoke County, Allison Wickline, 10 News, working for you.
Meanwhile, in Southside, voter turnout is not expected to be any higher than usual for a governor's election. That's based upon absentee voting numbers. Danville's registrar believes a lack of contested local races will keep turnout lower than other areas that are seeing numbers similar to that of a presidential election statewide. 2 voters that we spoke to say they always vote, no matter the election.
Particularly in these days and times, I think we need to get out and vote. And this is a right that we have, and everybody should exercise that right, no matter what the election is.
I think the country needs to be heard. You need to express your thoughts about the issues.
Registrar says she expects voter turnout to be around 40%. And while most eyes are on the race for governor, one local House of Delegates race is actually receiving national attention.
Combined, both candidates for the 12th district, which covers the New River Valley, have spent more than $1 million campaigning. Democrat Chris Hurst hopes to unseat Republican Joseph Yost. 10 News reporter Tommy Lopez is live in Blacksburg, where Hurst is holding his watch party.
Tommy, what's Hurst been doing to gain this last-minute support that he might need?
Yeah, he's been making a last-minute pitch to many voters throughout Southwest Virginia. All is quiet here right now, though the Hurst campaign says that this is going to be a packed house when the Democratic candidate returns this evening. This is the Hyatt Place Hotel in Blacksburg. Hurst is wrapping up in Radford right now, speaking to voters at a polling place. He has also spent time here in Blacksburg today, also in Giles County throughout the day today. He says he's excited for his first election as an actual candidate, having obviously covered many as a local TV news anchor and reporter. He says he's getting out, talking to people today. People seem excited about this race. And he says if he wins, he's excited to get to work right away to represent the people of this district.
It would mean I would have a tremendous amount of work to do, a tremendous amount of learning to do, and a tremendous amount of more effort to put in to meet more people of this district and continue to understand more deeply and learn more deeply the needs and concerns and the values of the people of this district.
This race has been getting national, international attention. More than $1 million spent between the 2 campaigns in this race. But again, we find out tonight who will win the 12th district. We'll hear more coming up at 6 o'clock about what Hurst says his supporters have meant to him during the last couple of months. Live in Blacksburg, Tommy Lopez, 10 News working for you.
Meanwhile, across the valley in Parisburg, our team coverage continues with 10 News reporter Arisha Jones at Republican candidate Joseph Yost's election party. So, Arisha, how are Yost supporters feeling ahead of tonight's results?
Well, Lindsay, it's a quiet setting right now, but the room is set up for a celebration tonight, and we're told Joseph Yost will arrive here before the polls close at 7. Now, Yost has represented Giles County for the last 6 years. He's from the area and says he's ready to get back to the important things to help the area, including focusing on education.
But if you look at the budgets that we've passed out of the General Assembly each year that I voted on, education funding in this area for all the divisions in the 12th district has grown steadily. Is there more work left to be done? Absolutely.
Yost says he's also proud of the work he's done to help mental health hospitals. Live in Giles County, Arisha Jones, 10 News, working for you.
With nearly 90 different elections in our area, we're continuing to follow all of them, and we will keep you updated throughout the evening. Be sure to watch us tonight at 6 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, of course, after the polls close, and 11 o'clock for continued team coverage. And to stay up to date when we're not on the air, you can go to WSOS.com, and you can also download the app from 10 News to get alerts sent straight to your phone.